So
Dave Pagnotta yesterday had a note on Tuch also that wasn't anything different than we've heard from others, which is if they were close on a deal, it would have been done by now. All the signs right now point to him going to free agency unless the Sabres completely change their mindset.
Okay.
Not really adding anything new.
No.
Still think they could.
Can we all agree?
Sorry. I don't think they completely changed their mindset. I think their offer could change.
Yeah.
Because I've thought all along, they're going to try to make trades, and maybe if they don't make one, then their offer on Tuch would change.
Yeah, Jarmo might have 5 ideas, and they start ticking off like, oh, Minnesota made that trade, and Montreal made that trade, and they made this trade.
Yep.
Well, all right, guess we're going to do something else.
If Montreal does something, like when... Did Kansas City ever really do this? If the Chiefs did something, or maybe when New England does something, like it ups the appetite to see the Bills do something in free agency, make a big splash, whatever, trade. If Montreal goes out and makes a giant swing on something, they trade their first-round pick and a prospect and they go get a great player, is that going to up the ante or the urge for people to see them do something? I think thinking about those teams that they were competing with all year long, and if you see them go out and act aggressive and be that type of way, then I think a lot of Sabre fans that maybe are on the fence right now will be like, okay, I would like to see them go do something too.
Maybe.
Don't let Montreal be out here getting a lot better, and I'm just the team that's going to decide to run it back.
Maybe. I think there's a lot of faith the young guys of the Sabres are going to just keep growing and get better and better and give them a chance to win year over year. The one thing I would say...
That could be Montreal, too. Montreal was younger than the Sabres were.
Could we...
By average age, at least.
Whatever you want the Sabres to do, would we not all agree that they are currently in a spot that they have not been in 20 years?
Yes, definitely.
Where 05-06, even 05-06 to 06-07, if we go back to that team 20 years ago, they end the season, we feel like they rightfully should have won the Cup. Mm-hmm. And maybe part of that led to us thinking, I'm trying to go back 20 years. All right, everybody, try and remember the take you had in June of 05-06 after that season, what you wanted them to do. Mm-hmm. They let McKee walk. They signed Jarl Spacek. They let Dumont walk. And that's it?
No, that wasn't
Dumont
it.
Was the what?
Briere was up for a contract, right? And they I guess this wasn't like whether a guy stays or goes, but didn't they decide to only sign him to a 1-year deal?
That I don't remember. I remember the talk was they were going to have to choose between Briere or Drury. And whatever.
They went to arbitration with Briere that summer.
Okay, there you go.
And the Sabres agreed to accept $5 million for Briere in a 1-year deal that was awarded in arbitration.
Okay, there you go.
They could have signed him long-term.
They definitely could have signed him long-term, and they did not.
But I know what you mean. Like that isn't a decision on whether to get better for the next year. That's a decision on what to do with Briere for the long term.
Right. The last couple times they made the playoffs, like they lose to Boston in the first round. They lose to Philly in the first round. I don't know what we're thinking about them winning the Stanley Cup or anything like that. And this year's team, they lose in the second round, Game 7, overtime. I just feel like whether it's the ages or the whatever it might be, they've not been in a spot where we're sitting here saying, all right, what are you going to do to try to win the Stanley Cup? Greer, thank you. Chris Ostrander wrote it. Greer walked in the summer of 06 and said he was concerned about the Sabres' commitment to winning.
Oh, he was right about that one.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Where do you think he got that idea, by the way?
Right.
Him and Drury were close.
And whether it was Drury or the 1-year deal to Briere.
The Briere thing could have been it. They went to arbitration with him.
Right.
I'm reading the article from CBC from that summer about what, like, all of that decision. It is. I don't think I knew, like, the inner workings or even I barely remembered that had happened. It's madness.
Yeah.
They fought him into August to get him on a 1-year contract.
Yeah.
I think Mike Greer had a point.
It's wild that happened. But anyway, like we're in a spot that we haven't been. That's fans too. Fans have not been in this spot. What should they do? Should they just wait for things to percolate and keep going? Or should they make a big, bold move? And I think part of the appeal of the new GM is the idea that he is a guy that will do something. And all the Tuch conversations, I feel like they come down to either your – whatever, there's probably 3 spots. You want Tuch back, yes. you could be swayed either way, or you don't want him back because Yarmo's going to do something else. He's going to do something big. And there's belief out there for that, and I tend to believe something like that will happen. But it's also very possible that he doesn't, that the deals just don't come along. Because one thing about the deadline, you're shopping for Robert Thomas or Colton Parayko. You're calling the Blues to buy at the deadline. How many teams are doing that? Buying at the deadline.
A lot.
Reasonably buying at the bit. Is it 10?
Right. It's
10.
Yeah, it's not what it is in the summer.
In the summer, how many is it?
Yeah, way more.
30.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, you were at that market where it's the trade deadline market. There aren't as many buyers as there are in June.
Yep.
So maybe it does get tougher in the summer because while your price might not go up that much, you still have the same value for whatever that deal was for Robert Thomas or, insert every name here. And now this team that would never have thought about trading for him in March is thinking, well, all right, if you're taking calls, like how about this one? We got an idea for you here. And the Blues like that player better. I know that none of these players are Myles Garrett, but what got the Myles Garrett deal done? It was that the Browns liked one player. They liked Jared Verse. The Bills probably called on Myles Garrett 10 times. They could never offer them what ultimately went in a deal for that player. And next thing you know, it's like, well, all right, that idea you've chased for 2-3 years goes away because one team finally offered the one piece that team wanted. So I look at the spot we're in and think it's not like other years. It's not like other times. I have a list of long-term free agent big money signings before Kevin Adams with Terry Pegula as the owner of the team. And someone clipped the list of these and said, like, look at this. It's a scary list. And I do not think it's a scary list. Christian Ehrhoff was a good signing.
Yeah.
Was totally fine.
Yep.
They bought him out because they were afraid of one really small loophole in cap recapture.
And they had a compliance buyout to use.
And they wanted to also be bad. And he was going to hurt
They were going to tank. Yes.
He was going to hurt their ability to be bad.
Yep.
Ville Leno. What? What does Ville Leno have to do with Alex Tuch? Ville Leno was a guy that they signed for 6 years to play a position that he didn't play.
Yes, he did.
It was immediately bad.
Yes.
Immediately a bad idea.
He had one season in the league where he scored 19 goals.
Yeah.
Versus Tuch, who's got 5 years of, like, this dude's a top-line player.
Yeah. So Ville Leno does not apply. Jeff Skinner. Oh, guys, careful. Remember Jeff Skinner. Jeff Skinner, the Sabres bought out, and they have a one-time big cap hit and other small cap hits. It might surprise a lot of people to find out that Jeff Skinner, 4 years after signing that deal, had a point a game for the Sabres. 4 years in. That wasn't in 1 year and then they bought him out.
In the 3 years leading up to the buyout, he had 92 goals.
And in the midst of that was tanked by his own coach.
Right, which is why it doesn't look as
part
complete.
Of the value you lost was so the Sabres have kind of signed players and then they're either just bad signings or sabotage themselves. Kyle Oposo, Matt.
He's Molson is another one.
Molson is a bad one, right?
Molson's
Molson
a
is
bad one.
A Tim Murray signing for 5 years.
Yep,
and he's washed pretty quickly afterwards. So I don't know. There's definitely some cautionary tales, but maybe it's that it's been a long time since we've talked about a team that has a real chance to do something, and you don't want to mess it up. And we also don't have an extensive experience. The Ehlers signing, the Marner signing. Like in the Stanley Cup final, I got two teams that went out and signed the biggest fish in free agency last year. Granted, they might not have been 30 years old, but like I don't.
You know the other thing?
I just don't think. I kind of made this point yesterday, and Owen clipped it, and it went online, and people are debating it. I just feel like you can't really reasonably be afraid of free agency in general. Nikolai Ehlers is 30,
right?
And how's it going in the Cup final? How's it going for Carolina? Maybe it's a necessary evil. Sure, you get into some silly season, but if you want to actually compete and try to win the Stanley Cup, the teams you are going against are also taking calculated risks. You can't just be walking around all day being like, I'm a little afraid of that. Well, I'm a little afraid of that. The job is to just accept that something might go wrong and go boldly, I suppose. It's just, all I'm really saying is it's been a while since all these factors have met for us, which is why I guess, there's a good, healthy debate on what they should do.
Yeah, I like your logic on this the last couple of days. This just popped into my head, though, about your point about all those contracts that they had when they had them. And I just am thinking about how much more would we have cared about those cap hits on those free agent deals if they were good then.
Right. All those players were supposed to save them and pull them out of fires and
right, or a team, how about that was spending to the cap?
That's right. That's what I mean. Is like how much more do those hurt as a team that is at the edge of winning, where we were concerned they could get to the cap floor.
Yeah.
At these times where these cap hits mattered and they were there, the Ehrhoff, the Molson, all that. The team was horrible, so it didn't hurt them really. Now they're good and they're trying to win. And if they're trying to win long term, then that's where I think the concern grows. Because now that cap hit, for the first time, we're talking about the Skinner buyout cap hit. And why? Because they're good and you need the space.
Yeah.
And now, are you going to get into that spot now? Because we think this team is going to be good for a long time here.
That's where I check out. Like the graveyard of teams that don't do anything because they think, well, we're going to be good for a long time.
Right.
Congratulations. Were you great for 8 years and didn't win a Stanley Cup? Like, we're living this life with the Bills. They're great every single year. If I told you for the next 7 years they're going to be the same level of competitive, you'd be like, well, they better make a Super Bowl. They better win a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Like, the idea of we're going to be good for a while sounds great in year 1. In year 9, Josh Allen's 9th year in the league, in year 9, you get to maybe you should have done more by now.
Right.
Maybe there should have been a little further pushing in. The Bills have traded their first-round pick away one time for Diggs. It worked tremendously. Right. Should they have done it again? Looking back right now, should they have done it again? In the next 9 years, should they do it?
Yeah.
You don't make a trade just to make a trade, but
yeah,
I want to be a little bit careful. I want to be respectful of being good for a long time is good, and I like that. And the Bills' last 8-9 years has been tons of fun, no regrets for a fan. But the better thing to do is to identify now the window is not opening. You just had one of your years. Mm-hmm. You just had this window. Now it's year 2. This isn't the start of it. You're in it.
Right.
You're in it right now.
And that's why I think that I am against just letting Tuch go and not doing anything. To me, it's Tuch. If you're losing him, you've got
something else has to
fill
happen.
it. You have to. And that's where I think we agree on that point, where it's you have to do something, whether it's Tuch or whatever else the replacement is. Mm-hmm. I think that I agree with you that the people that are concerned about, well, we could just let him walk, we'll be fine without him, and then we'll just live with whatever happens. That's I'm with you. I think that's foolish. I think you're burning time in, like you said, the window that is slammed open here.
And looking at Ville Lano's stats. You want to go down memory lane for that?
I really just want to see them also. Thinking of the Bills a little bit for this, all the middle-of-the-road contracts that the Bills have and how that can make it harder to accomplish bringing in a guy that is at the top. For the Sabres, all these teams are going to have to decide how they want to conduct themselves once the cap continues to go up here. It's a new world, total new world. And how do you want to be? Do you want to load yourself up with a bunch of contracts that are in the middle? Or do you want to say, we're going to pay our top guys big money, and then the replacement level costs guys, we're going to fill up the bottom of the lineup with that? The NFL, yes, the guys that are at the bottom of your roster as the cap goes up are going to cost more too, but what's the difference? In the NFL, just for example, 20 years ago, what was a rookie making? $250,000. Right now, what are they making? $850,000. By percentage, it's a massive upgrade, right? Mm-hmm. But it's $600,000 difference on your salary cap. It's a rounding error, the difference over 20 years. What's the difference in quarterback salary in those 20 years? What's the difference in running wide receiver salary, in edge rusher salary? It's tens and tens of millions of dollars a year. So, this offseason is a bit of a test of that, because here's Tuch, plays on your number one line. He's going to cost a ton of money. You want to pay him, or do you feel the need to say, we really like Beck Malenstein and Peyton Krebs? Those are priorities. We want to sign guys like that. They're going to make, what, $6 million between the two of them? And start filling up our roster with your McLeods and your Greenways and your Zuckers and your Malensteins and your Krebs, all guys that are good players, but that are much more replaceable than Alex Tuch is. Because what the cost to replace Alex Tuch is going to be expensive, either a trade or a signing, when, this might sound like me saying, I don't want them to sign Krebs or Malenstein, but what's a better idea? Going out and spending whatever it's going to cost in a trade to replace the Tuch production in your top line, or say to Malenstein and Krebs, two guys that everybody likes. Yeah, I'm not going to pay you two $6 million between you when I can roll out a fourth line this year of guys under contract of Tyson Kozak, Justin Danforth, and Sam Carrick. It's going to cost me less than $3 million between the three of them. Mm-hmm. What's a better idea?
I don't know.
The cheap, but the cheap fourth line, like, don't spend all this money on bottom six guys as the cap goes up. Spend it on a guy that right now costs you $10 million a year. What's it going to cost in 5 years to sign a 30-goal scorer? It's going to cost you 15.
Yeah.
So I kind of don't want the Sabres to do what the Bills have done. I don't want them to load up with middle-tier contracts. Go high and go low.
And the other thing you want is, like, all these names that are out there, you want them to actually land one. Right? Like, land that guy.
And I guess I'm wondering if they will be able to do that.
And I don't know if they will. Like, right now, to me, like, again, I realize I sound like I'm making the case that they have to re-sign Tuch, and that I do not feel that way.
I would still prefer that they land in a trade, a 27-year-old version of him that costs $8 million. That's a better idea.
For sure. But, like, I feel like there's a little bit of a trap in saying, you know what I'd like instead of this good scenario is the perfect scenario.
Right.
Like, those are hard. Those are hard to find. Is that Jason Robertson?
Yeah.
Is that, Jordan Kyrou, Robert Thomas, Matthew Barzal? I only Yarmo knows in this conversation, like, what that would ultimately cost. Like, I feel like I get to the same spot. No, don't pay Tuch. Okay, I'd like this perfect scenario. Okay, they're going to trade Helenius to get it. Well, no, don't do that. But now I'm going to trade Oslin, and I've got to say goodbye to this player. Like, it's kind of delicate, and that's the overarching point to get back to here is, like, it's been a long time.
I know,
since we've been here, and the GM is probably a popular figure and has a really good rating, and yet has not really done much. He's extended Doan and made deadline trades.
And that's it.
That's it.
I think he got a lot of credit, and this is why when Kevin Adams was the GM, I thought that they treated it as almost an embarrassment when leaks would get out about them not being able to accomplish things. But then when they wouldn't say anything, it was, well, you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Yarmo got credit for trying.
He did.
For trying to get the big deal done. I don't think that came out as a negative for him. I think part of why people are optimistic about this summer is we all know he tried to do it, and he didn't do it. But that only lasts so long. Like, right. I'm sick and tired of between both teams, like, them always being in on these big ideas. For years, we're in on it. They called about Quinn Hughes. Great. Sweet. When the guys knew and you come really close to doing it, like, I'm into that. But at some point, Yarmo will become the same as maybe what Adams was. If you don't get that trade done, it's, don't tell me about how hard you tried.
Yeah.
Like, you've been trying. And if that starts to become repetitive, then it'll go stale, and at some point it'll be, don't tell me about it. But we're not there yet because it's still the honeymoon phase, and I'm still willing to believe that his mentality is different, and they don't have a roadblock that, like the Bills had with Myles Garrett, where, okay, you don't have that player to offer them for that star player on the other side. Fine. The Sabres don't have that problem. They have other roadblocks. They do not have the roadblock of we don't have the assets to make a trade like that. They absolutely do.
Right. Yarmo stepped in and, like, to the point about when does your window begin, said, like, right now, do you want the last guy we drafted in the first round, 9th overall? We'll give you a 9th overall pick and next year's first right now.
Right.
It's go time. He said it's go time in March. And he'd had the job for what, 2 months?
Yep.
3 months? 803-0550 and 1-888-552-550. Canes and Vegas tied at 2 games apiece. Are you familiar with the Stanley Pup?
I'm not. I'm going to guess it is something Similar to what the Puppy Bowl is, though?
Kind of. It's every team has a dog named after a player on their team. They're rescue dogs. It's a adoption drive to get these dogs adopted. 32 NHL players as dog pun names, one for each team. My question would be is if you adopted one of these dogs, would you have to keep the name?
Yes.
And I'll give you some of these names.
Probably.
And do you know anyone that has a dog with a long name like this? For instance, the Dallas Stars adoptable dog is Jason Slobbertson. Would you keep the name Jason Slobbertson? This is my dog, Jason Slobbertson.
But I would just be calling him Jason.
Okay. Is that weirder?
I could keep that.
Macklin Celowini.
That's a good one. I like it.
It's a good chirp to throw at the player itself, too.
Minnesota and New Jersey have named their dogs Jack Chews and Quinn Chews.
All right, I could.
Carolina's
I'll keep that.
is Seth Arfus.
Arf.
Not a big fan.
Boston, Charlie Attaboy.
I like that.
Yep. See, like some of the first names, like I wouldn't keep Seth Arfus because I'm not going to call my dog Seth.
No? You draw the line?
I draw the line at Seth.
My dog's name is Fred. So
Fred, fine. Seth,
Not Seth?
Yeah.
Not going to be a pet name.
Tampa's dog's name is Anthony Gorelli.
ooh, that's good.
And Vancouver, Zeev Boopum.
Oh,
Or
that's
Zeev
funny.
Zeebuium.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Did the Sabres have one?
Yes. Owen Bauer.
That's pretty good.
Bow Hour.
Bauer.
Yeah.
I
All
might
right.
just call it Bauer, the dog.
Yeah.
You definitely go
Bo
last name.
for short.
Kale McCollar.
Oh, that's good.
These are less names, and they really
Yeah.
are more just. I mean, they are puns.
Well, yeah, right.
I might not want to keep any of them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you win this, if you adopt the dog, do you have to keep Artemi Panarin? Yes, this is my dog, Artemi. Artemi, actually not bad.
Artemi,
That's
fine.
actually
That's
not
fine.
bad.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
that
That's
one
better
works.
than a
Kinda
lot
like
of.
that.
That's better than a lot of the ones we've heard.
There's a Gabe, there's a Max Dogie for
Max
Domi.
I mean, there are so many hockey names. How many Sabres are going to have? How many
puns?
dogs in the area are going to be named after Sabres? Like, how many Sabres would there be where you could do that? Like, there will be dogs named
all right,
Benson.
Benny.
Benson is a good name.
Benny.
Benny.
There's going to be
Benny,
a lot
Benson.
of Bennies.
How about Donor?
If you're naming your dog after Zach
About
Benson, does it have to be a
Tage?
small dog that's like
Yeah, it's gotta be-
feisty?
it's gotta be
You're
like a bulldog.
You're not naming a Great Dane Benson?
No.
No.
Okay.
That's Tage.
Yeah, Tage.
Tage.
Here, Tage.
This is my horse-sized dog named Tage.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, Belknap's Hot or Cool when we return. Sal Capaccio, 9 o'clock. Jeremy and Joe on WGR.